Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Because we're doing more because I'm having a wonderful day on this 25th August 2025. Today we're talking about MGK, but we're talking about, because this is a video that we did before, but today we feel more creative, and I just finished watching Ticket to My Downfall. Oh, guess what? Let's bring on the old chain and balls of multitasking while making content. So, as I mentioned this, MGK, which is insane because I did a video last week about the genius of it, and it was insane because, okay, so let's put it like that, right? I did a video about 2 months ago, and this is when you know that I've been doing this for too long today and I'm going insane. I made a video a month ago and we were reacting to MGK Vampire Diaries, and I was like, okay, well, guess what? It's completely different from Ticket to My Downfall. I fell in love with his artistic sense while he was making Ticket to My Downfall. So I was like, you know what? It's good, but it's different, and I don't know if I prefer the old time or the new time. I love it. Those boys. It's funny because I did a reaction, and somebody in the comments, it made me feel, I think the word we're looking for is hella guilty. Because the person was basically saying, hey, he's happy. Who cares if you like the music? Not to me personally, but it was like, who cares if you prefer the music he was doing before or prefer the music that he's doing now? He's healthier, he's happier. And at the same time, it completely blew my mind. Now, it's gonna be a long video, so sit down, have a talk, grab a shortbread bakery, caramel toffee, shortbread cookies. Not a sponsor, but who knows with the social nowadays, the social life of the internet. There's three main subjects of this video: guilt, pain, and past, present, and future. So we're gonna talk with guilt, right? And I saw the comments and I felt guilty because he was right? As long as this content creator, because yes, a musician is a content creator, right? As long as he's happier, you should embrace what he's doing. You know what? I am an asshole, which is the part that we call guilt. I'm an asshole for looking at this and say I prefer when he was sad. I prefer when he was doing music that that made me feel a type of way. That's bad because this is not caring about the content creator, right? We lost King Cobra GFS this week, and I cared about Josh a lot because I related to him a lot, and it was somebody that made me inspired me. He made me more comfortable with being neurodivergent, and based on that was a plus, you know. And ultimately speaking, what broke my heart was Clint, his father, saying that as an answer to the troll, he wanted to delete all the social media of Joshua, King Cobra GFS, as the last fuck you, as the last hurrah, you know. And I felt that Clint was right. I felt like he was doing that. And then for a content creator, and then this brought me back to MGK. So did it bring me back to MGK? No. This is a absolute, complete fabrication. This is a lie. Do not believe the guy that's talking to you. It didn't bring me back. However, tonight I was doing a live. There was nobody. I was talking to myself, just like right now. I was listening to music. And I listened to Ticket to My Downfall, which is the music video that is 49 minutes that he made, right? My apologies. It was just gorgeous. And I fell in love with this, and this is where the idea came from. Now, the reality is I didn't make videos today, so my creativity is left untouched today, and I'm feeling very creative. So yeah. So what ended up happening is I saw Josh, and I'm not here to point fingers, but the hate possibly, allegedly drove him to drink and drove him to sadly pass away. Am I saying that the hate is what drove MGK to make Ticket to My Downfall? No, I'm not saying that. However, the battle versus the rap battles or the beef between him and Eminem definitely had a part to do in that. The fact that during filming, in between Ticket to My Downfall and his last album, he lost a baby with Megan. And I talk to him like he's my friend. It's a baby. That's that's awful. That's awful. And there's guilt because he's going through so much, and like, wow, you're a talented genius. You're a musical genius. However, you deserve better. And if your talent is reliant on your pain, then fuck talents. Right? But then expressing your emotion when you're feeling an emotion is also a beautiful thing. And you should be able to express every single emotion that you want to express, even though they're negative or positive. I made a video about King, Cobra GFS, and it was a long video, so people didn't watch it. And then they thought I lost a friend. And I was like, I didn't know the guy, but I cared about him. He felt like a friend. He wasn't a friend, but he felt like a friend. I felt like I knew Josh. And again, I keep on bringing back Josh because these two elements are these. Josh's death and Ticket to My Downfall are the epitome of the sadness, because since I live in a bubble, which is content creation, I don't go out of this bubble a lot. So in this bubble, I'm pretty safe from positive emotion and negative emotion. Therefore, henceforth, when positive emotion happen to me, I feel them a lot because my life is so boring. And when negative emotion happen, I feel them a lot. So Josh death and Ticket to My Downfall are the picture or the physical representation of pain in my week, my month, right? Which is the month of August, which is almost done, But there's a guilt. And out of that guilt, I stopped listening to MGK. How is that making any freaking sense at all? I stopped listening to MGK for a simple version, for a very simple purpose. My favorite album that he did, my favorite music are all Tickets for My Downfall. I shouldn't be enjoying something that's made this life of the musician terrible, right? So out of guilt, I stopped listening to him. But then tonight, it just came up in my FYP, or in my, no, not my FYP. FYP is TikTok. It just came out in my, my recommended on YouTube, I was like, okay, that's kind of insane. So I did watch it. And again, just this feeling of falling in love with an album. The importance of it, I'm not going to say it because I said it in other videos, but basically, Ticket to My Downfall came out in the pandemic. And it was just another period of time to just be alive. It was a completely different world. It was a completely different emotion. It was insane. So that meant something to me. If it wasn't released during that time, I possibly wouldn't listen to it. And just listening to it at work. At work, this is insane, but the movie Ticket to My Downfall was 49 minutes. I had a tent. No, that's not true. What is 40 hours? It's 2,400 minutes, right? 2,040 minutes divided by 40. 2,400 minutes divided by 50, because it's 49 minutes, is 1,200 minutes ends up being 20 hours, right? Yeah. So 2% of my week was there. No, it doesn't make any sense, but who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? That was more than 2% of my life, but fuck it. This is when you see that I could be good in math if I paid attention to school, but I didn't. Because these shackles are more than just intellectual shackles. They're eternal shackles, right? A system that you learn can be a good employee. A She done not having your own business, not having your own ideas, not being a business manager, but just following a slavery based on wage. You know, be a bit of an anti-establishment, but if the establishment was perfect, nobody would be anti it. Okay, let's not be political. I'm getting some time because we're playing the tower, and I need to upgrade my tower, so I'm talking and talking and talking. And I'm not making sense because I'm not focused, but then here we are, we're back. Yesterday there's guilt, and I listened to it, and I was like, holy shit, right? And then there's the we're gonna switch it up. There's the past, present, and future. And the past, present, and future is awesome. I was reading the comments because again, this live was boring, and I was reading the comments. And the comments were talking about how this was the importance of the album, the importance of the period during which the album was released, i.e., the pandemic. Right? We're talking about that, which is, I feel like it's raining, to be honest. Which is, it is important because again, people had nothing to do. People were stuck inside, and to get to my downfall was a freaking movie, was a fucking concert, you know. So past, present, and future. Why is that important? Well, past, present, and future is the representation of this as 35 years ago. Move on. Move on. And these are things that I tell myself. Move on, bro. There's better out there. But then, who cares? Who cares when it was released? Who cares when it was having? I used to judge my parents for listening to music they listened to when they were younger. I'm doing the same. I'm listening to Breaking Benjamin, Falling Reverse. My biggest heartbreak, talking about guilt before, my biggest heartbreak was Ronnie Radke. And I haven't been able to listen to Falling Reverse since then. My favorite song is something that I have tattooed on my body, is The Drug in Me Is You. And he's like, oh yeah, I sound like shit on that one. I'm like, dude, you help people, you save life. How dare you? And again, it's his career, it's his music, it's his choice, it's his property, right? If you want to spit on his own castle, fit in your own castle, right? This is your castle. I'm just living in it. But it's still a heartbreak. And I still thought it was very, very uncalled for, right? But at the same time, as a musical artist, you see a future, right? And you see, as an artist at all, maybe a painter, a content creator, a fighter, you don't want something to be your prime, because if it's something is your prime, you cannot evolve. Us saying that Stick It to My Downfall is MGK's best piece of work is low-key, high-key, telling other people that he will never do something that's good. So why bother listening to him? Why bother creating content if it's not going to be as good? Does that make any sense to you? Because it makes sense to me. It's those clouds are dark, right? I think there's going to be some rain. Are we waiting rain, guys? Are we? I don't know. Let me check. In my head, just said, but no, there's no rain. I don't do fake love, but I take some from you tonight. I know that I got to go, but I just can't miss the fight, cause I stay forever. Brave pretend and treat this life like it will happen again. You'll be my bloody Valentine. Listen, Megan Fox, pandemic, funniest thing. I don't say the story, but again, we're gonna put this in the video, even though it has nothing to do with it. You know what? When you're putting this, in the video, it has a part of this is meaningful to me. This is to show you. So we have the pandemic. I have nothing to do. I have nothing to do because I don't have Wi-Fi. So every single day I go to my father's house. My father lives about 20 minutes from my home, walking. And I'm not gonna spend my whole day here. So what I do is I go to his house at 12 o'clock. And what I do is I leave his house at 5:30 when he wakes up. And what I do is I download the shows on Netflix, because I have a Netflix subscription for some reason. I download shows. I download videos. I download music. And every single day, I have to walk for 10 minutes. Now, when I'm at my father's house, I watch videos. When I'm at home, I watch videos. But when I'm on the road for 40 minutes a day, because again, 20 minutes back and forth, right? I'm listening to Bloody Valentine. Not once, every single day, for a month. It was that good. It was that good. Bring me back to And she's talking to me. She's important in my life, so we're gonna listen to her. Okay. I don't know why you tell me that, but okay. So yeah, so it's kind of sucky because there is behind the scene there is some. I think that this is his prime, so why bother? And that's not cool. That's not cool because as an artist, you don't want to hear your fan say that. Yeah. If it wasn't for the album, I wouldn't be a fan though. Duh. So yeah. And then we're coming back to the past, present, and future. Who cares when it was made if I enjoy it? If my present is the past, my future is the past, then the past is a happy place, who cares? But then if the past is a prison in which you're not allowing yourself to move on, we just talked about this. We literally just talked about this. And there are other ways, but we just talked about this. I'm not allowing myself to better myself. I'm not allowing myself to live a better future because I'm stuck in the past, enjoying what is the peak of my life. But the peak of my life is only the peak of my life because I believed it to be the peak of my life. I believe the peak of my life to be the peak of my life. Therefore, I don't make an effort to get another peak. Therefore, I don't get another peak. And therefore, the peak of my life is still the peak of my life. Not because there's not better out there. Because I imprison myself in these memories. Does it make any sense to you? Does to me. There's a lot of geese. That's why you know I'm Canadian. It makes sense to me. A bit of a crazy speech, but hey, if you're sane, you missed out. So yeah, and that is the conclusion to my past, present, and future. So what's left? Pain, you're right. Let's finish the video with something that's a bit more dramatic. Something that is apropos to Take It to My Downfall. Why is Get to My Downfall so good? Because he's literally a guy losing his mind. He's literally a guy going through depression. And to me, it's amazing. To me, it's amazing. One of my favorite YouTubers was Ricardo Avocado. Until he said that all of it was fake. It was a character that was playing. He was watching us like ants on the hill. And at that time, I was like, bro, you're such a douche. There's something beautiful in this decay of humankind. There's something beautiful in this artistic decay of humankind. I am in pain, therefore I create. I create because it feels like a therapy. It feels like a therapy, so I'm sharing my pain with you guys. And out of this pain comes out a beautiful product. Maybe music, maybe painting, maybe fighting, maybe content, right? It comes a beautiful product, which is the direct result of my state of mind. State of mind is beautiful. The music that I'm going to do is more positive. My state of mind is more negative. This product I'm going to be doing is more negative. What if pain was relatable? Then you associate pain with being relatable. Everybody goes through pain, right? Everybody goes through shit. Right? Right, yeah, you're right. So what do we have left? What do we have left? You have the level of pain. If pain ends up being relatable, then everybody wants to live pain. Because again, you grow from that, this experience. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not talking about self-SH. But I'm talking about a world where you inflict yourself pain. And this is not even like something that is masochist. There's a girl out there, she's better than you, she's out of your league. You still hold on to the hope. Why? Because it's worth living. You don't have a chance, so you go out for the girls. You get heartbreak, but for seconds on a day, for hours out of the week, it feels freaking good. Like, wow, what a feeling. What if that love was worth the pain, you know? And at the end of the day, you went through shit, so you're more relatable. At the end of the day, you went through shit, so you're more knowledgeable about life, because you've been through stuff, right? But then there's a level of pain. See, happiness is inquantifiable. Pain is. Anger is inquantifiable. Pain is. Why do you think the doctor asks you, out of 10, how much is your pain? Your shrink doesn't tell you out of 10 how much is your anger. Your shrink doesn't tell you out of 10 how happy are you. So that the doctor do. Because physical pain is different than emotional pain, right? You don't learn from physical pain. You burn yourself like, oh, okay, don't touch fire. That's pretty much it. So you have level to pain, right? Some level to pain are a learning experience. Okay, this is gonna make me a better person. That's good. My first heartbreak, you know what? You weren't a good boyfriend, so you deserve it. She deserved better. Yeah. And then you reach a perfect level of pain, where you're relatable, but you're so inspiring. Like, oh my god, this guy's so cool. You've been through so much. And then just like Icarus, right? You know that Icarus, a tattoo of Icarus mean, right? You know that. You know that. Delete. Hmm? Like Icarus, you fly too high to the, just like Icarus, you fly too high to the sun, and that pain changes you, and it makes you fucked up. And then you're not cool anymore. You're weird. You're weird. And you tell them, yeah, but it's not my fault, bro. I am a child of divorce. Yeah, but it's not my fault, bro. I just had a heartbreak, right? And people are understanding until they're not. Yeah, that was 3 weeks ago. Get over it. Be normal. You don't know my pain. You don't know the level of pain. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know shit. You think you do, but you don't. We just finished Lost today. And my heart is broken because Lost is so good. And pain changed you. Yeah. So you're stuck in between a level of pain which will make me better, and a level of pain which is tolerable. So why am I saying this? Take it to my downfall. Because my downfall is a perfect experience. It's a lot of pain, but it's artistic. It's a lot of pain, but it's relatable. It's a lot of pain, but somehow it makes sense. It's put in a way where it makes sense. It's a lot of pain, but you survive. And you end up stronger. Do you know what's beautiful about that pain? And the worst thing is I did a drunk video about it. A drunk video. I was drunk, but it was still a good video. Well, good. It's a... No matter what you think about the music that he makes right now, you can see that there's a proof. There's a solid proof. There's a concrete proof in the city of concrete, that he went through shit. When I tell you that one of my biggest regrets is not filming earlier, because you don't know how much I worked on myself. You don't know how much I've been through. You don't know how much I suffered to get to where I am, right? But then how selfish it is for me to think that you guys need to see that, and if you don't see that, then I'm not being honest and I'm hiding stuff, which is not true. I'm not hiding stuff, right? So then fudge. That was important for my genesis. In the lore of who I am, this is important. Online, but also in person. Because it altered my brain chemistry. My association of life is altered. You think a baby thinks about injustice in the world? No. Wait a couple of years. Change his brain chemistry a couple of times. And he'll hate the world. That's part of life. That's part of being normal. It's a normal feel of relevancy. You're relevant because you are in pain. You're relevant because you feel alive. You're relevant because you feel an emotion. And this emotion proves that you're alive. In this numbness, there's nothing. And in this nothing, there's numbness. So then I realized that it was quite selfish. I want to show you the pain. Just so I can brag about how this is how far I've come, right? But then I realized something. Nobody cares about the caterpillar. Nobody cares about the cocoon. Why? Well, let's just say that I just said I watched Lost, right? There's just this scene in Lost where there's a caterpillar in a cocoon. And there's a hole, and he's ready to go. And the character in the show takes a knife. I could open up the cocoon, but if I do, it's gonna be too weak to survive. So if I do that, I kill it. And I don't want to kill it, right? But then, here's the thing. We're all... Ooh, let's almost drop the phone. Imagine. We're all caterpillars. We're all gonna be a cocoon, right? And it doesn't matter. For example, right? The caterpillar has a 3 months lifespan, right? So you go in a 3 months lifespan, and a month of that is caterpillar life, and a month of that is cocoon life, and a month of that is butterfly life. Now, everybody will only care about the moment of your life. For us humans, it's a prime. When you're 18, 20, you're 30. At 40, you're old. At 10, you're young. At 50, you're not even supposed to be there. At 60, everybody forgets about you. Right? Doesn't matter. Because some of us will take 20 years to be a butterfly. Some of us will take 40 years to be a butterfly. You know? The ones in the butterfly don't care about how many leaves you add. They don't care about how hard it was to get out of the cocoon. And yeah, that sucks. So as a finale, every single moment of your life is important. Every single moment of your life is important. Why? Good question. Every single moment of your life is important because it leads you somewhere. The emotion that you're feeling right now might not be something that you feel in a week. It might not be something that you feel ever again. This emotion that you're feeling right now might be a single emotion in your seas of emotions. It might be a small fragment of time in your life. And your life is quite long, isn't it? So all in all, what do? You live in the present. Right? You do what you need to do. You enjoy the moment that is going on right now. And when nothing is going on, you're supposed to feel nothing. You're supposed to say, you know what? Nothing is going on and that's okay. And that is the death of creativity. Because as much as you think that past is a prison, that's actually pretty good. As much as you think that past is a prison, and as much as you think as the future is but a concept, I can plan the next 5 years of my life. Let's do it right now. Making content. That's planned, you know? If I die tomorrow, which I'm not gonna die tomorrow, don't worry. But if I die tomorrow, the idea of a future was pure concept. Because it was predestined that I was dead tomorrow. So if past is a prison, and future is an ideal, then the only left is present. But sometimes present is nothing more than nothing. And that's the secret of life. Sometimes life is shitty. Sometimes life is boring. You should take it, bro. And if you take it, then if you're lucky, and only if you're lucky, you'll make it to tomorrow. And maybe, just maybe, tomorrow is more interesting than today. And maybe, just maybe, tomorrow is better than yesterday. Yeah. Maybe today isn't supposed to hold meaning. Maybe tomorrow is. That, my friend, maybe is the meaning of life. Who knows?